Hey guys, so today Andrew and I are going to have a casual night in. We're going to make dinner for ourselves, put the girls to bed, and answer a bunch of your guys' questions. I posted on Instagram asking what questions you have for us. We have a ton of questions to go through. So the girls are eating right now, they're content, so I'm going to put a pizza in the oven for Andrew and myself, and then we'll get to the questions. So here's the pizza that I'm cooking. It's by DiGiorno, and they came out with the gluten-free pizza, which I'm very excited about because you guys know that I eat gluten-free. I'm very sensitive to it, and it's hard to find pizzas that are gluten-free that are actually good. So the one I have right here, it's the ultra thin sausage supreme pizza. I wanted to say thank you to DiGiorno for sponsoring this video. I know a lot of you guys are gluten-free, and I'm always looking for new products to share with you that I think you'll enjoy. So this is non-GMO. I wanted to show you the packaging just in case you're at the store and you need to recognize it. So it's non-GMO, the crust is gluten-free, obviously, and it is preservative-free as well. And their main thing is, even though it's gluten-free, they didn't compromise on taste, so it's still gonna taste like a DiGiorno pizza. Let's get this going because I'm very, very hungry. And then you just bake this for 12 minutes. Are you ready to take a bath, Junie?
No.
No?
Back.
We gotta go clean you off, you're messy. Are you messy?
Boat.
Boat? Is there a boat out there?
Boat.
Boat? What does the boat say?
Toot
Toot toot.
trees.
So I'm gonna put the pizza in the oven and go give the girls a bath and get everything cleaned up, and they are so tired right now, so I'm gonna put them to bed early tonight. Are you gonna give them their bath?
Me? I probably won't.
Andrew never gives them their bath anymore. It's always me. Let's go, let's go.
Potty.
Potty! Do you need to go potty?
Potty.
Why don't you sit in the potty? Oh. Nice.
Oh.
Oh, those are magnets. All right, let's get the water going. Let's get the water going. Pizza done. I'm starving.
Me too.
Oh yeah, baby. I think it's just couldn't work a long time.
That was a good job taking that out.
Yeah.
I usually struggle taking those things
You
out.
do, like get cheese all over the place. Okay, I got so many questions, by the way.
I know.
Like a lot. A lot of repeats though, so that's good. At least like I know a lot of you guys kind of want to know the same things.
Well, if people don't mind a long video, I would like to answer all the questions.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I think they're all good ones though.
Yeah, they're good. Okay, I want to try this right now, but it's very, very hot. So maybe I should wait a little bit because I don't want to burn my mouth. What do you think?
If you're tough, you'll eat it.
No, wait, let me let it cool off. It's really hot. It's like piping hot.
Got some wine going. Red, so I'm gonna have to toughen up because I usually don't like red wine.
Oh, I could have, we have white.
It's okay. I need to get my palate going.
This was just open from the other night. So.
That's alright. Fine with
Yeah.
me.
Violet? What's your name?
Red.
Yeah, Violet. What's your sister's name? Aww. Our house is looking very nice and clean right now. I'm very happy. It's honestly really good. It doesn't taste gluten-free. And Andrew, have you tried it yet? Did you try a bite?
I haven't had any yet. But I love thin
Because I
crust.
honestly feel like you're the main judge because Andrew hates anything gluten-free. Like, I made cookies the other night, and he was like, oh,
It had
what?
weird flour.
He goes, what weird ingredient did you
No,
put
the
here?"
flour was weird on that. It tasted
It was
bad.
It was gluten-free flour, what I always use. And they tasted,
Okay, well, I've never had anything with that bad of flour then, because that tasted
they tasted
terrible.
awesome to me. So if Andrew likes it, then that means it's really good. I think it's good, but I need your. Let's see.
That is good. Is it really gluten free?
Yeah.
Cream.
Did you clean?
Cream.
What? Oh, you're climbing. Wow, big girl. You're big. Your shoulders. Shoulders. Okay, where is your nose? Good. Where are your ears? Ears. Where's your tongue? Ah. Where are your fingers? Aww. Wow, you're strong. Good job.
Oh, stay lit.
Did you get it?
If it stays.
Question time. Are you ready? Are you in the right mindset to answer
I
questions
am.
about
I really
me
like
and you?
Q&A type stuff. I'm really excited
It's the last
about it.
one we did in Ontario?
Did we do it in Ontario? I thought it was Rancho
Rancho
Cucamonga.
Cucamonga.
That was a long time ago, so there's a lot of stuff to update on.
A big one was how has our relationship evolved since having kids?
Since having kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the biggest thing that has changed is I used to always be the one who'd wake up early,
Oh yeah.
and Kendra would wake up at 8 or 9 every day, which isn't that late, I guess, but you were a waitress though, so Kendra
Yeah.
worked late, so she slept in, and then I've usually always woken up around 6:30 or 7, especially for school. I used to wake up at 6:30, but now Kendra oftentimes
that
wakes up before me. I mean, I
Well,
try and get up at 5:30. She always sets her alarm for 5:45. She usually gets up at 5:45 all the time.
I set it for 5:40, so I get up at 5:45.
I usually hit snooze a lot. We just like stay on a schedule, and I feel like
We
being
do.
very regimented and scheduled has helped us so much because
Like every day is pretty much the same.
for the most
Which
part,
can get kind of like redundant sometimes. Like that's why sometimes I'm like, I need to get out of the house and do something because it's with twins, it's definitely easier to stay at home with them. This Kendall's like blowing right on me. I've heard like moms who just have one baby first, like it's easier to just take them out of the house. But with two, especially their age, they just run opposite directions now, and I let them out of the stroller, so it's easier to be at home. But at the same time, when you're home all the time, you go a little crazy. So
actually, I will say one thing for myself.
what?
I like to be at home more now than I used to. If there was ever a holiday or something, or like a 3-day weekend or whatever it was, I'm like, okay, we got to make friends or plans with
We
our
gotta make
friends.
friends
We got to make friends.
quick.
We got to make plans with our friends and go do something.
And-
Now I love having a weekend just at home, let the girls run in the backyard, and then I
But-
try and fix it up.
I like to leave now. Like when Andrew's home, that's when I want to go do something because I have an extra set of hands. So like 4th of July, for instance, Andrew was like, no, for 4th of July, I just want to stay home. I don't want to deal with crowds or anything. And I'm like, let's get out. Like I want to do something because when he's here, we're kind of opposites in that way now. Like when he gets home from work, which was another question, is like, how do you balance your husband coming home from work and he's tired from work and then you're tired from the kids? That's probably like our biggest issue, I would say. A lot of people ask, we'll just start talking about this because a lot of people ask like, what is like something that like you argue about or whatever. And I feel like most stay-at-home moms probably all feel that way, but it's like never, I don't know. I don't even know how to like start this.
Well, so like for my job, so I work as a physical therapist, and
That was a question too.
on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work a 10-hour shift, and so I don't take a lunch. I just work 10 hours straight through, which is nice because I get to come home basically an hour early compared to when I was taking a lunch. But when I come home, I want to just veg out for a little bit.
Right.
You know, at my job, people aren't coming in because they feel good. They're usually they're sick and they're hurting, so they're usually not too happy. So they're kind of complaining a bit, and it's like I just want to relax when I get home. And then
Yeah.
Kendra hasn't really talked to anyone but the girls, so she just wants to tell me stuff.
Yeah, I've talked to
And I'm
nobody
just
all day.
like, zip it.
I've talked to
I just
I've talked to
wanna
2
relax.
toddlers, and I've talked to the internet world, which is basically like talking to yourself. Are you planning on having any more babies? And then soon? Question mark. A lot of people ask that if we're gonna have more kids. Yes, we want to have more kids.
So from the get-go, I've wanted to have 4 kids. Kendra wanted to have 3.
You'd even have
But
5.
once I'd have 5, if we get 5 or 6, that's great. But Kendra from the get-go only wanted 3, but because of the twins, now she's thinking 4 is appropriate.
Because I feel like the third would feel left out. Between them and the twins. I just want them to be like 2.5 to 3 years apart, I feel like.
Yeah, so we'd be fine whether it
Sometime
happens
soon.
tomorrow or in the next couple months. That's fine
Yeah.
with us.
Is parenthood what you expected? Yes. The one thing that I didn't really realize is how much cleaning I would be doing. And I think I said this in my last Q&A. Like I clean all day long. But that just
Yeah.
comes with it. It's just not like, because kids just constantly make messes. You clean up a mess and then they make another mess. So
So that's probably something that's changed between the two of us because back before we were married, I mean, I could care less if my room was a mess or if my clothes are out. But once we got married, and we'd been married for about, 4 years before the babies came?
Yeah.
So I kind of got used to the house being clean, everything being exactly where I liked it.
Everything was always like perfectly
Kendra's
clean.
pretty good at having everything clean, so I really liked that.
Yeah.
But now, it's like every night you got to clean up a disaster.
Yeah, like
So
all the
some
time.
nights we just kind of leave it.
Let's talk about how we met, how we got engaged, because that's like a lot of questions. So
I want to hear what you have to say how we first met.
Like
'cause
my
I know
point of view?
I know exactly when we first met. Kendra's memory
is really
is not
bad.
the best, but I want to hear what she says first.
Okay, so we grew up in the same very, very small town, and I have 3 brothers, and they all play sports. My dad's a coach, so I feel like I just knew of other
When did you meet me? That's the question.
guys. I'm
Okay.
getting the story ready. So I just knew who Andrew was. I knew who you were, and he was a year older than me, so like I knew like his group of friends, and they all played basketball and football, and I just like always knew who he was. And he was a good athlete, so I thought. But I did think he was very cocky, because that's what you just gave off, that aura of being very cocky. So
Okay,
I don't know
cut
when I
through
actually
this.
met him.
I know exactly when I met her. I remember exactly what day and everything. I was
Okay,
with my
I know.
friend Mark Larson. We were at our junior high. I was in 8th grade. She was in 7th
what are you
grade.
gonna say to him about my brother?
And so she was with her friend Hannah, who ended up being her maid of honor in our wedding. And so anyway, Mark goes, "Oh, dude, you got to meet this girl, Kendra Jordy. She's Ryan's sister." And so my buddy's older brother was friends with her oldest brother. And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I go over there, meet them. I'm like, "Oh, they're cute." But the first thing that popped in my head when I met her, I just remember thinking, "Man, she looks exactly like her brother Ryan."
And it wasn't a compliment.
Why?
Like-
It's not a diss or not a compliment.
Okay.
It's just, that's the first
The
thing
way
I
you
thought of.
say though does not sound like good.
You looked exactly like him, just with long hair.
Let's just say that I had a very long, awkward phase in my life.
No, she wasn't the cutest in 7th grade. But the time I remember actually thinking that she was really cute was, so I was now a sophomore in high school, and
That's when I
Kendra
first started
just came into high school,
noticing
so
you.
she was a freshman, and she was really cute. And you were a cheerleader, and I was like, "Who's that? Is that Kendra Jordy? Man, she really grew up. She looks a lot. She looks a lot different now. She's pretty cute."
Yeah. And we walked to math class together. Like I'd walk with him and his friends. We'd all walk the same like way to math. So we started talking like then. But I'm not like a flirty person. Like I like legit don't know how to flirt. So
And I'm more flirty, so
And he
I
is.
definitely used to try and flirt with her because I thought she was really cute, but she wasn't giving me anything. So I'm like, what the heck? So I liked trying to
thought you were-
pursue her because I didn't
Yeah.
think she was into me at all. But then I remember the one day where I really liked her. It was like homecoming week, so you dress up as something every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was sports day, and she wore an Allen Iverson jersey with like a headband and like these bandana, like
I went all
armbands.
out for dress up days.
And I thought it was so cute because
I was all about school spirit. Andrew was anti-school
I was
spirit.
not. I was a turd who would never dress up for those things.
I won most school spirit in 8th grade. So then we dated. We started dating when I was a sophomore. He was a junior. And we dated the rest of high school. Andrew went to college. He went to Thousand Oaks, Cal Lutheran in Thousand Oaks. And then we dated long distance for a year when I was a senior in high school. And then when I went to college, I went to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. And we continued dating long distance all throughout college.
But it was only like 2.5 hour drive from each other, and so because I think someone asked about a long distance relationship thing, and so what I
Right,
would
a lot of
say
people ask that all the time.
was like, Kendra made it really easy on me because she's not really needy. I mean, I don't think we've spoke on the phone for more than a minute and a half in our whole lives.
Okay, well, we talk sometimes when we were
But
dating.
it was nice because I had
I
my
hate talking on
friends
the phone.
at Cal Lu, and she had her friends at Cal
Yeah.
Poly, and we kind of did our own thing. We'd meet up like
Every other week, probably?
yeah, at least once a month. We'd
Yeah.
meet up.
And we'd switch off places. We'd either meet halfway or like I'd go to see him, he'd come to see me. And it just, I don't know, it just like, it was not super easy. Like I remember thinking like, when is this ever going to end? And like we, you know, a lot of times when we'd leave each other, it'd just be like awful having to leave. And I remember thinking like, I'm so sick of saying goodbye all the time. And And it was so like weird when I was done with college and we weren't long distance anymore. I was like, oh, I can see you all the time. Like, it's just very odd. But I think it's crazy that it did work out, because it was a long time being long distance, like a lot of years, but we made it work. We got engaged when I was a senior in college. So towards the end of my senior year, we got engaged, and then we got married a year later.
And I think some people asked about how I proposed too. So if you know the area around Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, there's a state beach by Morro Bay. It's called Montoya de Oro, and it's these really pretty like cliffs right off the ocean and stuff, and a really pretty like campsite and all that. And so I bought a ring, and she was going to graduate in like 2 weeks. So I first made the mistake of that I told everyone back home. I was like, hey, I'm going up to propose. So it was under the pressure, like if I come back without doing it, everyone's going to be like, what the heck happened? So anyway, I go up there, got my ring, planned out for the next day. There was nothing in the weather saying the next day was going to be a bad day. And of course, the next day I wake up and it's super cloudy. I'm like, what the heck? And so by like 9 o'clock, it is raining. It's like pouring rain.
Like torrential downpour.
And I told her, I was like, hey, let's go to Montoya de Oro. Let's just go hang out there. And so I had this digital camera that I was planning on taking all these photos with and stuff. On the way out there, I was like, hey, can you get my camera out and take some photos along the road here? It doesn't work. I've had that thing for like 5 years at a time. It's like, hey, let's get a disposable camera on the way out here. So she's like, why?
So we stopped at CVS.
So I picked up a disposable camera.
So that's when I knew, okay, he's proposing.
You didn't know anything.
I knew.
Oh my.
I was waiting for
You
it,
didn't
okay?
know.
But
so we get out there.
We got there.
It is like a hurricane. It was,
It was
blowing wind.
I should
It
insert
was-
some pictures.
The rain is going sideways. And this whole time, I'm so flustered because I'm like, I got no other plan.
I was like,
I had all these things in my mind that I was going to say. Anyway, we did walk down the beach and it was kind of still down there. And then I just totally blanked. Forgot what I was going to say.
you said something.
I wish I had it recorded because it probably
He
would have.
kind of talked like as we were walking, like he was like recapping our time dating, and then by the time we got down to this little area, that's when.
By the
he
time we got
to
down
me.
there and I got on a knee, I was just crying my eyes out. I was like, "Ugh, you married me."
Andrew cries a lot. Not a lot, but like he's like an emotional.
I
Like,
just watched Coco. Oh my gosh, I was crying so hard.
you were like hiding your face too.
Oh, Coco was so sad.
He cries a lot. One of our earlier Q&As, we talked about being on the Dave Ramsey plan and how we do the envelope system and the snowball effect and everything.
Really what we do though is we basically earmark every dollar that comes in. So I write down our estimated monthly income and I just kind of base it off kind of my lowest projection. And then other than that, I use an app called Personal Capital, and I've averaged out how much money we spend on gas and everything for the last like 3 years. So I kind of allocate a certain amount of money for all those things. And so now we are still doing like the debt snowball, and we really just have
Your loans.
just a couple. We have 2 debts left. We have Kendra's car and then my school loans. And so what's really nice is we've paid off every other debt. So now,
I hope they can hear this because it's windy and I hear airplanes.
all right, we might have to go inside.
I might have to go inside.
But yeah, we pretty much have just got it down to 2 left, and obviously our mortgage for our house. But if you listen to Dave Ramsey, you'll know that's not part of the debt snowball yet. So,
And I remember like when we first got married, Andrew made me cut up all my credit cards. I had like one for, I think I had 2 for different stores.
oh my gosh! But she'd always say, "Oh, the rewards! Oh, but there's Macy's card. I get like 15% off." I think this is totally true, because when you use cash to pay for something, you physically lose that cash, and then you get a product. And so there's like a give and take where you feel some pain because you're like, "Hey, I gave up my money."
Totally.
Whereas if you give your credit card, you give them the credit card,
It's like play.
they give it right back to you, and then you get the product. So I feel like internally you're kind of like, you know what? I just won right there. I
Yeah.
got my credit card, I got my product.
I got my points.
I can wait to pay this off sometime down the road.
Yeah.
And then that piles up. Whereas
And
just take care of it right now.
And something he told me is like, if you don't have the money to buy it, then don't buy it. And that kind of stuck with me. So like now I never use a credit card to pay for anything. If I don't have money, I can't buy. I have to wait till I have the money to pay for it. And I just think that he's changed my mindset of spending. Like, I don't buy something unless I really need it. And before I used to be like a really frivolous spender. And we were super, super tight with our money when we first got married because Andrew was in PT school. And we didn't do much. Like, we ate very cheaply, but it kind of like trained me. Like, I think now I like still have that mentality.
No, we used to be really good with it. I mean, we didn't eat out like at all.
And ever.
We allowed ourselves on Friday.
No, we still had date nights. Yeah.
Yeah, on Friday was our date night.
Yeah. But we only were allowed to spend a certain amount of
But
money.
we'd go to Trader Joe's and we'd spend $40 to $45 a week.
Yeah.
And that was all the food.
It was crazy.
That was so efficient.
And now we spend like
that was great. I love
120.
that.
Right?
Now we spend more, and I'm getting ticked.
Like 120, which I feel like is still very low for people because we're a family
If
of
I
four.
do the shopping though, we spend $100, and I feel like
Yeah.
we eat more all week. Kendra shops, she spends $150,
Well,
and we're like, "Where's the food?"
That is true. But Andrew buys like a lot
What
of.
are you buying?
I buy like a kombucha.
Oh man!
I like to try new things. What is the one main thing that gets on your nerves about one another? Come on, life is not all peaches and cream. There has to be some real talk.
I had read that question earlier, and I was really trying to come up with something good. And like, I really can't think of anything that truly gets me upset that Kendra does. I've been with her for so long. She's like just about my best friend, and like,
That's nice.
there's nothing that like really gets me pissed, like truly pissed.
No. It's just like annoying things maybe. And I'm the one to get annoyed at more things. I could take a long shower and Andrew would never say anything to me. And if Andrew took a long shower, I'd be like, seriously? Like, how long are you gonna take a shower? Like, I feel like little things maybe bug me more, but like Andrew would never complain about stuff like that. Ever. Or like if I left clothes out, if I left like shoes out, Andrew's never once been like, geez, you're leaving your clothes out. But
The only
like,
thing
I will
I
say
could
that.
think that I would ever complain about is if I look at our accounts.
Finances.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Like last night, we're
what
laying
did you
in
spend
bed.
$150 on Amazon for?
Diapers. I feel like all guys do this though, not all guys, but he leaves all of his clothes on the ground. Like, I don't think he ever really hangs anything up. Ever. Like,
true.
I hang everything up. But this is what I've learned, and your mom told me this actually, because I was saying something that like, how you like leave everything on the ground.
Yeah.
And she said that your dad used to leave all of his stuff on the counter, like in the bathroom. And she's like, when we first got married, it bugged me so much. And then she realized that he's not going to change. So she's like, I'll just put it, if it really bothers me, I'll put it away. And so now she puts all of his stuff away every morning. And like, that's kind of how I've thought about it now. So I'm like, he's clearly not going to change. Like, he's not going to start just magically like hanging all of his clothes up and doing all that stuff. So
I hang my clothes every now and then.
every now and then, but like 90% of the time you don't. So now I just hang them up and I'm like, whatever, big deal. Like, I'm the one who likes things to be tidy.
For the most part, we just agree on so much. That sounds so boring.
We're
I wish I had a good story to tell everybody. Be like, this gets me. I always get her. But we just get along. We have a lot of the same taste. Like, I know I'm not very good at interior design, so I just let her do stuff. It looks really good. I like how it looks. So
We do have similar tastes. Andrew, like,
but I am opinionated.
okay, I was
so
gonna
like,
say that.
So like, if there's something I don't like, I'd tell
say
her.
it. Like, he's more opinionated than most guys, I feel like. Okay, another question along this is, do you guys have silly fights? Who apologizes first? Andrew doesn't usually apologize. This is what I was gonna say, is our personalities work really well together. Like, we have the same interests in things. Like, I don't know, we're into the same things, but our personalities are different.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like that's why we go well together. Like, say we do get in an argument about something, I usually don't care that much. So I'm just like, whatever, I'll let it slide. You know? I think if I was more like you, then we'd like butt heads more.
If we were the same personality type, yeah.
It'd be bad.
Because I would say I am more.
You don't back down.
I guess I am more like a type A personality. Is that what that would be?
I thought I was too, though. So maybe you are more so than I am.
I definitely,
I let her go.
I guess, like to be the leader and like have the final say. And so Kendra's
And
kind of cool with that. She's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I hate confrontation. Like, I hate it. I avoid it.
So unless there's stuff you haven't told me, for the most part, I think everything's going pretty good.
How do the two of you split home kid responsibilities when one goes to work and one works from home? I would say, like, in the morning, we kind of get them up together, don't you say?
Yeah.
Because I'm usually awake. Sometimes you're awake, sometimes you're not. But we usually both get one out of their cribs, and we'll kind of sit out on the couch with them for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Andrew will go get ready for work. He'll go shower and stuff, and it's kind of like then I'm kind of on from
But
there.
usually on Tuesday, Thursday, I do get home early. So I get home around 1 on those days. So a lot of times I like to, like, I'll just take them and I'll be like, you know, go ahead, go do something. You go to like Home Goods or something like that. But I like to I'll just sit around. And so I don't mind just sitting around, especially when they are crying. Kendra gets really bothered by that.
Yeah.
And I can understand because she's around it more than I am.
Yeah, it gives me a headache.
But I just shut the door in the playroom and I just lay on the ground and they just play on me for like 2 hours.
Wedding tips, when to save, when to splurge, how to handle the stress of planning. We did have a budget for a wedding. It's like, feels like so long ago.
I'm not very helpful for this one, so I'll let Kendra answer this.
It was kind of right when Pinterest first started, so I think that was good for us because Pinterest now, there's so many ideas, it's like you can never stop. But we looked at a lot of venues and we just tried to find a venue that was not super, super expensive. And
actually, one thing we did do that I'll say, so Kendra had been kind of editing videos at that time. And so to get a videographer, I mean, it was like $4,500. So one thing we did, I just paid 3 of my friends. So I bought video cameras, like HD ones, like handheld camcorders from Best Buy. I ended up returning them after we had done using them. So I
we
saved
used one
that
that
money.
I use for YouTube though.
Yeah, and then so I had like one was a really nice one. Had them like kind of watch us down the aisle. The other guys, I had them just kind of go around the wedding and like I told them a couple things to do, but I gave them each. I told them I gave them $50. They just said, "Hey, give us free drinks." So it ended up being super cheap, and Kendra edited it, and I love how the video turned out.
It's super like home video, but it's fine.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, we got married when I was 24.
Yeah, I was 23.
So
and that was like the one
we don't
thing,
need like the most professional video. So personally, I love our video.
I would recommend figuring out like where you want to save, what you find most important. That's somebody told me like the 3 things you really think are important. For me, I really wanted a lot of flowers. Like some people don't care at all about flowers. That was like top of my list. So we spent extra on flowers. The like, food and everything, that was all included in our
I just
place.
wanted a lot of people because I have a fair amount of friends. Kendra doesn't have as many friends as I have.
I have a bigger family.
She has a big family. So we did a couple fun things. Like for one, we did a dance. I feel like everybody does a dance now with like all of our
Choreographed dance.
Yeah, just us. But then also like our groomsmen and bridesmaids, we all did a dance. And I had sang this song in high school to ask Kendra to the first prom we went to together. If you know the song Truly Madly Deeply by Savage Garden, so I changed the opening lyrics to that and invited her to the prom. We called it the prom song. And then so at the wedding, I sang the prom song, but then I sang the next verse of that song, which I called the wedding song, and then I did that live with one of her friends. I thought that was so fun.
You want to sing it?
I could definitely sing it right now. I know all those lyrics.
How do you manage the first couple of months with your girls, especially with the sleep deprivation? So that is one thing that I'm not looking forward to when we have our next baby is the beginning, because that is hard. Like when you're nursing all the time, it is hard on your sleep and everything. Now we sleep so good.
I'd stay up, because I usually like to stay up late anyway, so I'd stay up, give them their bottle at like midnight, then they'd sleep for 2 hours. Kendra would wake up. So this whole time I'd be sleeping.
I'd be out here and you wake me up to nurse them.
Oh, okay. That's how it was.
Yeah.
But then we'd kind of go back and forth like that.
And we sleep trained them at 4 months. So after that, they slept through the night. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in the beginning, it was just kind of like you're a zombie for a little bit. Like I ran into walls all the time and I was just like completely out of it. Well, a lot of people asked about us moving, like if we're gonna move to Seattle, because we always talk about Seattle, if we're gonna ever move out of state, if we're gonna stay in California, if we're gonna move from this house. So we've talked about like a lot of things, but Andrew's like really set in his job right now. He loves his job.
I mean, I really like it, but at the same time, I'd be totally open to moving somewhere. It would have to be the right situation. For one, I really loved Seattle when we were there. Like I would love to move back.
I love Seattle.
It was a great, like, I can't wait to visit it again. But right now, like, I just feel very comfortable and fortunate with the job I have right now. So I'm not planning on leaving it anytime soon. And then we're going to go visit her brother who lives in Texas. And I mean, that's something we thought about possibly moving to also. We had thought about Nashville for a bit, even North Carolina. I feel like deep down, like we've wanted to go somewhere just because we want to be, I guess, somewhat adventurous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you always think the grass is greener somewhere else, right? But right now it's kind of nice. I mean, both of our parents live out here. Her parents will be moving.
Yeah.
Maybe someday, but not right now.
Yeah. As far as this house goes, we'll probably stay here now for a couple more years. After we did our bathroom, our master bathroom, I just love it so much, and I can't imagine doing all that work and moving. So.
And definitely the plan with this house is we want to keep it, or I want to keep it and rent it out to a family. There's a nice high school near us that a lot of folks do kind of move out to this area simply for that high school. So like, I want to rent this house out, you know, just rent it to like a nice family or something.
How did we choose the girls' names? I've been keeping like a running tally of names on my phone for years and years and years, and it always changes. When we found out it was twins, it definitely changed because I felt like the names kind of had to go together. So I kind of narrowed it down to some that I liked, and then I'd show Andrew.
Kendra liked a lot of older names. I liked more
girly,
I guess,
feminine
conventional names
yeah.
like Rachel or Lindsay or Katie.
Andrew always liked Violet, but he didn't like June because
I liked Violet because of The Incredibles.
June, you were like, I don't know, and I'm just like, think how cute it is, Violet.
No,
and
I
June.
liked the name June because I thought of all the nicknames. Oh, you call her Junie, Junebug. Like I just went through nicknames in my head.
Okay, what was our favorite vacation we've ever been on together?
Ooh. I mean, I have liked a lot of our vacations. We take a lot of like short vacations I love. We've been doing little Palm Springs trips lately and stuff. I really like that.
Yeah.
I thought our honeymoon was the best.
Yeah. That
I
was
loved, we went to Kauai. I loved
the
it.
best. So pretty.
It was awesome.
And we did so many things. Like we went on a helicopter ride, we went on a boat, we went on a kayak thing to a waterfall and hiked. Like we did so many things.
That was a ton of fun. Do you share the same faith? We do share the same faith. So Kendra was raised Lutheran. I grew up going to like Calvary Chapel and stuff, so kind of like a non-denominational Christian church. So that's made it easy because we are basically the same. We are the same faith, both Christians.
Yeah.
So raising the girls has been
I always
easy that
think
way.
like when you're dating somebody, if you have the same like values, it makes things a lot easier because if that kind of grounds you, and if you ever have any hard times, like that kind of is where you guys can meet back at. Don't you think?
No, I totally agree because, I mean, if you really are religious or, you know, held to some values like that, I mean, it's not going to be good if one person has one set of values and the other has another set of values.
Right.
Sometimes those things clash and they may not mesh well. So
Yeah.
if you have the same set of values, that definitely makes it easy.
Yeah. What are some ways we like to save money?
I like to save money. We haven't been good this month, so this will sound bad, but typically we don't go out to eat a ton. I mean, we do kind of our date night thing and Taco Tuesdays.
We haven't done date night in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah.
But we've been going out to restaurants a bunch.
Yeah.
So we've spent a ton of money on
Yeah.
restaurants this month.
Yeah.
We don't go out to restaurants a bunch. Again, we don't use our credit card. We do have a credit card. Dave Ramsey he'd say don't have that, but it's kind of like an emergency thing. But we don't use that. Other than that, we just don't spend a lot of money. We kind of stay in a lot. So
Yeah.
we just don't spend a lot.
When we lived in Seattle, we shared meals all the time. That was like one thing that we do all the
Oh,
time.
yeah, that's a good thing.
We had the smallest kitchen ever. We didn't even have steak knives. We
Well,
had butter
Seattle
knives.
had so many good places to eat, though.
Yeah.
There's a ton of good places to eat. I loved it. So that's definitely one thing we did is we'd get like an appetizer and then like an entree.
And we would happy hour a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. That was fun. Do you think you'll have twins again next time?
I hope so. That'd be great.
It's not, I looked it up again. It's 1 in 12 chance of having twins again, but that's if you had fraternal twins. And with identical, it goes way up. But if we had twin girls again, it'd be like crazy. And you know what? I mean, it'd be fine, but the thing that would make me mad is I've gotten rid of like one of everything. I haven't kept that many things, but I just keep one. So can you imagine?
We'll buy new stuff.
Can you
That's
imagine though? Oh, what is a personality trait or behavior you notice in June and Violet that came from either of you? I see a lot of Andrew in them.
In both of them?
Yes. Well, maybe more so Violet.
That is good news for them.
Violet's very stubborn and like determined and impatient. All great things.
All good things, man.
But like, that's you. But then she has a very sweet side. Like she loves to cuddle. Like all day long, she's like, cuddy, 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 couch. Like she just wants to cuddle all day long. And that's how Andrew is. Like Andrew wants to cuddle all the time.
That's definitely one of our biggest differences too, is I like to be affectionate and close and touchy.
Yeah.
And that's not Kendra.
And I don't.
In my family, I grew up, like we used to lay on the couch together and watch TV. We'd literally, my dad would be on the bottom, my mom here, me, then my brother, and then eventually my sister. But we just all lay on top of each other. Your
And
family's,
at my house,
you're
it's
definitely
like,
different.
my dad's in his chair, my mom's on the couch. Like we all have like our personal space. So the other day, June and Violet were both like laying on me, like all limbs are on me. Like I couldn't breathe, and I look over at her, I'm like, these are your kids. Like,
I love that.
It's
that is
so
the best.
not. I mean, I love it. With
I just
him, but
loved touch. I just love to like, if we're laying on the couch, I'll just be like,
He's always like-
draped.
and
And
like
like this, and I'll be so comfortable.
And
And
it's
she's
like,
just like, get off me.
and like at night, he always has like his leg over me, and it's so heavy. Like I can't breathe. I'm like your leg, and like his arm is just so heavy, like it's on my lungs. I can't breathe. Okay, so we answered pretty much all of your questions. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Did you have fun?
I did. Had some great pizza. I actually had fun talking. If you guys ever want any more Q&As, let us know, because
Yeah,
I love doing this, and
we haven't done that in a while.
I would like to be in more videos too. So if there's anything
Really?
anyone actually wants me to talk about, I'll
Leave your
definitely do it.
requests for Andrew down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you very soon.